Don't worry, trust me. This is the best shot we've got at getting that request. Okay, now we need to ensure you get hired. Basically, we'll need to make sure you're the only choice. To do that, you'll need to get access to the HR terminal in the corporate office upstairs on the main level. If you delete the other applications from the system, you'll be a shoo-in. I happen to know that the HR director, Tia, and the other women in the office tend to go to the Broken Spear for happy hour at 5 every evening. That's your window of opportunity. I happen to know that the HR director, Tia, and the other women in the office tend to go to the Broken Spear for happy hour at 5 every evening. That's your window of opportunity. Believe me, if you knew Tia, you wouldn't worry. I'll be honest, she's so overworked and behind in her tasks that I don't even think she knows there are any applications. That's a good point though. Once your application is in, I'll ping her and ask her to take a look to see if any applications came in for me. That should get her to finally take a look, see yours, and if all goes well, she'll hire you on the spot. That's the spirit! Believe me, this is gonna help everyone. By the way, the HR password is password spelled backwards, which Tia thinks is pretty clever. She gets talkative during happy hour, and loud. Surprised everyone doesn't know her password, honestly. Anyway, should be pretty easy. Good luck.
After today, I could really use it. Let's go.
Trust me, this is the best shot, and I can say that I've got some good news for you. I just saw the company message go out that you've been hired as Peter's assistant. Congratulations. They won't. I'll tell you a little secret. No one really cares too much. I'm not saying anyone's bad at their job, just that everyone's too busy and overworked to care. Seriously, no worries, mate. I've been here long enough to know how they operate up there. Not really, and neither should you. We're old and those people have moved on, or as soon as you disappear after this, they'll get to hiring again. Next step should be easy. Just go to work for Peter, and when you get access to his terminal messages, you'll see my request. All you've got to do is approve that request, and we'll be right on with it. Then, we can get that new equipment and show corporate how it's done.
Only employees of Deimos Staryard's might.
I'm a bit busy at the moment. Lots of business. You're finally back. I feel like you've been gone for ages. Do you know how tough this job is without an assistant? What happened to the old one? You know what, never mind. When they told me how poorly you did on your application questions, I had my doubts. But at least you showed up on time, so maybe there's hope. Well, enough chit-chat. Let's get to work. Not quite. I need you to do something much more important before you get to that. I'm expecting a personal shipment. I'm not sure why, but the last time this happened, my assistant ended up speaking to Governor Hurst about it. Now, run off and get it for me. I don't know. At first I thought I had multiple assistants that rotated in and out, but it seems I've only ever had one at a time and they all just stopped showing up. I believe my last assistant was supposed to get me some coffee, but never came back. I honestly wasn't listening to whatever they were crying about. Oh, do they cover nothing in orientation anymore? No, strike that. We got rid of orientation, didn't we? Anyway, it's not important. Your job is easy. You do what I ask, and that's pretty much it. I'm surprised you've forgotten that all right, new assistant. I keep forgetting. I could, but we'd be wasting valuable time, so no. What's in the shipment? A good assistant knows it's not their place to ask. Bad assistants get fired. Mediocre assistants get... You know what? I forgot where I was going with this, but it doesn't matter. Just get it for me, will you? Also, I don't quite remember, but it is important, that I know. Have a good one.
I'm so behind on my work. When's the report due anyway?
You simply... I'd love to chat more, but I'm expecting a message any minute from the Trade Authority. You know how it is with these big businesses, am I right? Well then, you've been quite busy making a name for yourself, haven't you? Oh, it's okay. You can drop the act with me.
Interesting. It appears Governor Hurst is well aware of our exploits.
If by exploits, you mean what your friend is doing for Sidonia, and not your work for Constellation, Ms. Morgan, you're right on the money. So look, I admire a go-getter like yourself. You're not in trouble unless you make trouble, and I don't think you're the type. I know you're not really Mr. Brennan's assistant. I don't know exactly what you're up to, but I have little reason to suspect you're up to no good. So let's cut to brass tacks. What can I do for you? Word travels fast around Sidonia. It's my business to know these things. Frankly, I'm not worried about you. As long as you play your cards right, it'll stay that way. Oh, I know exactly what happened to that shipment. However, I suspect Mr. Brennan neglected to tell you that I'm holding it due to his immense backlog of unpaid taxes. Then again, he may be unaware. Look, I'll tell you what. I'll release that shipment for you. But I'm going to need a favor first, since you seem to be adept at keeping quiet. See, my personal spacecraft was stolen, likely by Crimson Fleet pirates. I need someone to find it. Then I need that someone to destroy it. Discreetly. I need tight lips on this. Oh, it's a few reasons. I don't want this mired in their process. Also, it's a bit of an embarrassment for a sitting governor to lose a ship. So I'd rather that not get out. I'm sure you understand. Well, this is a tricky situation indeed. Not to get bogged down in details, but assuming this is the work of pirates, it's best to destroy the ship and everybody on board. Makes it cleaner for insurance purposes. Then we have an agreement. I'll send you to the ship's last known location. Remember, not a word of this leaves this room. I trust you to... Goodbye. Hope you won't have too much trouble out there. I'm not asking you to understand my reasons for this. I'm asking you to do a job, and in exchange, I'll give you what you want. And in my generosity, I also won't be reporting you to your superiors or hauling you off to jail for your fraudulent activities. I assume you understand that much. Look, I got a ransom note. It was analyzed, and Crimson Fleet is the best bet. Everything fits their profile. I'm not gonna sit here and instruct you on the intricacies of piracy in the settled systems. I just need you to trust me and do the job I asked of you. Sorry, we have to cut this conversation short.
A reminder that Bring Your Child to Work Day is not an officially sanctioned holiday, and that it is not...
Hey there.
There are many stories and films about demons, ghosts, and other entities on Mars. No wonder people here do not take religion seriously.
Deimos Staryard acknowledges the efforts of its citizens to make our city a happy and productive place to work. Thank you for your daily contributions to our prosperity.
Hey! Haven't seen you around here before. Did you just move in? Visiting Sidonia? It's a good one. No one just visits Sidonia. You're probably here on business. Am I right? Unless you're visiting friends or family, I guess. Anyway, doesn't really matter. Name's Mitch. I'm just a guy who lives here in the Lux condos. I'm always looking to make new friends. People say I can be a bit much sometimes. I love having people to hang out with and watch movies, talk about books, play games, or whatever. That's great. You can get a little lonely in Sidonia if you don't know anyone. We've all been there. Anyway, I don't want to keep you, but I figured I'd ask. If you happen to know anyone with a ship, I've been looking for some help. You can send my way if they want to make a quick cred. What's that supposed to mean? But just because I look like I couldn't bench press a stick of raw spaghetti, I don't fit in here? Nah, just kidding. I got some issues that prevent me from working, and modern medicine could only help so much. I was offered an experimental treatment, and unfortunately, instead of getting cool superpowers, I got more medical conditions. But it's okay. They offered me this condo and set me up with enough money to get by without working. I live pretty well, all things considered. Bored? Are you kidding me? I got more entertainment at my fingertips than I'll ever finish, even if it takes forever to get to Sidonia. I don't think I'll ever be bored, and I'm certainly not going to waste my life working if I don't have to. Well, I don't have the kind of money to pick up and leave, and otherwise, I kind of like it in Sidonia. My friends live here. Yeah, I get some credits every month, but I'm no millionaire. Besides, I share my money. I blow it all on games, movies, comics, books, and other stuff for me and my friends. I feel like it's better to spend it now. Create good memories for us. Yeah, thanks. You too. Nice to have visitors. Ooh, yeah. I'm probably not the best person to ask about this. I mostly stay inside. Watch movies, read books, and hang out with my friends. But there's a couple of bars around here. One's for the mine workers and one for everyone. Some people like hiking around Mars. It's a cool planet for that, I hear. People just kind of make their own fun here. New Atlantis, this ain't. Ooh, yeah. I recently saw 2 Dates for Darla 4. It was hilarious. Even better than the first. Oh, you do? That's great. Well, if it's not too much of an inconvenience, maybe I can entice you to do a favor for me? Please? I found out recently that my favorite book series, Dragonstar Force, had a very limited initial run. I really want to collect all the first editions, but it's hard for me to get them shipped all the way out here. I already tracked down Volume 1. Could you go buy it and bring it back here for me? I'll pay you back, of course. Plus, extra for your trouble. They're these old science fiction fantasy books about space and good versus evil and a mysterious magical relic called the Dragonstar. Now, there's this team of heroes who fight space wizards and dragons, demons, and whoever else seeks to take over the galaxy using the Dragonstar. You will? Wow, you're the first person to actually agree to do it. Thanks. Well, like I said, I'll make it worth it to you. You won't regret it.
How about my foot up your ass, newsboy? That a big enough scoop for you?
I really don't think that's appropriate talk, coming from a Vanguard pilot.
That's exactly your problem. You don't think. If you weren't such a lousy reporter, you wouldn't be stuck all the way out here.
I mean, I guess maybe that's true, but if so, you're just as stuck out here as I am. So what does that say?
Oh, wow! You really do want me to kick your ass, don't ya?
All right, that's enough. Bastion, go cool off. Get a drink.
Whatever. Fine.
Holden, I appreciate that you have a job to do. I really do. But you need to consider that you don't operate in a vacuum. If you're stationed here long term, that means you're around these people all day, every day. And they're not going to like it if you're making them look bad.
Lieutenant Commander Marquez, I appreciate your concern, but I have an obligation to SSNN to report on what I see.
I'm sure they do know that, Holden. I'm just saying, maybe use a little more discretion in your reporting. Maybe a lot. Don't worry. When the next big story breaks out here, I'll be sure to help you get the scoop, okay?
I will think on that. Thank you.
If you see anything unusual or illegal, make sure you report it. Vanguard's here for a reason. We'll take care of it.
I really did think this place would see a bit more action. Why, certainly. The Settled Systems News Network is the longest-running news service in... well, the Settled Systems. Reporters are dispatched all over, keeping an ear to the ground for some breaking news that should be known to everyone. It can, admittedly, be a bit of a pain making sure those stories reach our central office in New Atlantis. But until someone invents faster-than-light communication, it's the best we can do. Well, I certainly feel that way. The Vanguard pilots don't seem to want to associate with me. And I don't agree with Mr. Romack's views on the colony war, so there are few options left to me. You know, I really thought volunteering for this assignment was going to be the boost to my career that I was looking for. Now I suspect even SSNN has forgotten about me. So I've been told. Goodbye, then.
Hello there. Welcome to the Trade Authority. I'm Marcel, and if there's anything I can do for you, please, do let me know. Our stock may not be as vast as New Atlantis or Sidonia, but I will do my best to see that you leave here satisfied. And seeing as the Trade Authority is the only fully licensed operator for the Den, I'm afraid your alternatives are, shall we say, slim. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, and I hope this and all future interactions are profitable for both of us. If there are deals to be made, you'll find that we'll go to great lengths to take advantage of them. My primary role here is to oversee logistics operations for our many trade routes in the area, but I convinced my superiors that it was worth setting up something more customer-oriented. I'm told that they are quite pleased with the results.
I'm on what you call a long-term assignment. Suits me fine, so long as the UC... I'd heard the Den wasn't quite living up to its old standards.
Don't look at me.
This...
I'm just here for the
it's
liquor
definitely
and
worse
the,
than I expected.
Occasional odd job or
Whatever. You know, that's a good question. I do stuff for Orville sometimes, odd jobs or whatever, when he's not annoying. But I think technically I get paid by the Vanguard. Gotta love bureaucracy, right? Ooh, well, that depends on who you ask. Orville over there is still stuck in the glory days when this was the domain of the UC military brass and all their hangers-on. I can't see those days are never coming back. The Vanguard pilots, they mostly just resent guarding the ass end of nowhere. Reyna's okay, I guess. She seems to really care about the mission. And me? Well, it's as good a place as any to be stuck, I guess. Yep. See ya.
We should be grateful for the sacrifices made by our military, not embarrassed by them. Hey there. Ain't seen you before. What brings you to the Den? That's so. Not many have reason to pass through here. Seems like most avoid it. But what do I know? I'm just an old man who's been here too long. Well, you're welcome here, so long as I don't hear you disrespecting the United Colonies military. You got a problem with our history or our heroes? You can find somewhere else to get yourself a drink. Clear? Tell me something I don't know. You should have seen this place 30 years ago. UC's best and brightest were in and out of here all the time. But then the Colony War and, well, most folks don't like to be honest about that. I ain't one to turn my back on those who saved us in those days. And because I won't dishonor the memory of Vae Victis, business dries up. Ain't my problem that people don't like to face the reality of what happens in wartime. Man was a hero, not a traitor. Oh, he was a brilliant man. Just brilliant. Best leader we could have asked for in a crisis. He made the tough decisions no one else could. Did what needed to be done. Saved our asses. And when it was over, they turned on him. Called him a traitor and executed him. Just shameful. Well, not all of us are just gonna go along with rewriting history. Some of us remember. We saw it happen. Vae Victis sacrificed everything to save the United Colonies. That's what a real hero does.